Movie was amazing. I love the humor aspect of it. I look forward to such more movies that talks about such a sensitive topic with a very nice twist. Amazing, loved it.
So it was great, great movie. It was a fantastic experience to sit next to the director and the actress and really see the movie and get to discuss it at the end. I look forward to the next edition and to enjoy the festival.
It really touched on the essence of life, and especially for women, how life can be. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The acting was superb. Yeah, that's all I can say. I really enjoyed it. It was unbelievable.
Hi, myself Raj.
And myself Amit from Dry Tickets.
Yeah, what a great movie! Really, this is like a different topic, which has to become in a market, because lot of things happening in India, and I think this kind of concepts are very rare. So everybody should watch this movie in the theater.
Miraculously, and it is Gabbar Singh. But this is the original ending. It just premiered at TIFF last month, and we are the second city in the world to watch it. I think tickets are almost sold out, but we are trying to add another session. So if you please spread the word and do join us. And then, of course, our closing night film is Songs of the Forgotten Trees. Something is really wrong with me this evening, and that also premiered at the International Yes, Air India got me too. It's the stress. That just premiered at the International Film Festival of Venice and won the first award for an Indian to win the Best Director. So very excited to present, and of course all the wonderful films that we have screening at the festival. And before we close, this would not have been possible without the support of a few people who I would like to mention. First and foremost is, of course, our Sydney Council General and Consulate. And I would especially like to acknowledge NRMA Small Business Insurance as a major partner of IFFS 2025. We really value this partnership and are very pleased to have you on board. A very warm welcome to all the team who are attending here tonight. Welcome NAB, National Australia Bank, as our major partner, and a warm welcome to Paulo, who I just met earlier, and Sumedha and the NAB team. A big warm hug to you all. We're partners in the Melbourne Festival also, so it's really wonderful to have you back here. And I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to our special guest from ACT Canberra, Mr. Deepak Raj Gupta, National Chair of Australia-India Business Council, for joining us at the opening tonight, and Professor Veenu, Director of Advanced Nano Materials Centre of Australia. Warm welcome to you. Warm welcome to my dear friend, the CEO of CARE, Cal, who I torment a lot with my 5 million suggestions.
The movie was fantastic. I really loved it because, like the name, what it coined, it has different flavors, all the emotions, ups and downs of the life, from the tensions and the humor. So really, it touched the core of the humans, like and the society, what they have shown, and how the people of that kind they're moving into the life. So really liked it, and it had a message. Even if they say it's a story, but it had a message to all the people over there, how they can overcome the problems in the life and go ahead, and how they can bring happiness through all these difficulties in the life. So I really liked it. Thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous film. I loved how it delivers a very empowering message, and it's such a woman-centric film without being loud, and it's done in a very subtle way. So that's the element I enjoyed and admired the most. And Kriti, it's been great to witness her entire range of acting, right from what she's done in Four More Shots Please, and you could never imagine performing this character that she's done of Amiran. So amazing film, really worth a watch. Thanks.
I'd like to say this slice of life, and thank you so much for making this very important film as well. And that addresses so many layers, so many things, and yet also touches upon many things beautifully. But over to our wonderful audience. Yes.
Hi. Firstly, really good. It's very raw emotions. You've captured. There are moments where you're feeling what you're feeling and certain instincts, which means like you've acted that well that you connected with the audience. And I want to ask you a question, Tanishta. Which is a song that you were actually singing in the movie, if you were singing?
The first one on the titles.
The title.
Yeah, Aaj Rang Hai Ri, yeah.
Cool. Really good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Geeta, go back.
Hi. First of all, congratulations, amazing direction and amazing acting.
Thank you. Thanks.
I wanted to ask you, I think I caught some references to Amelie, and I wonder whether that movie meant anything to you, and how did you come up with this beautiful story?
The source of the story is a real person who happened to also cook at my place for a few months. And sometimes she would come back and she would actually like say things like that even after eating such expensive food, Didi has anxiety and Bhaiya has acidity, and so she used to like make fun of them. And then when I dug deeper, I realized there's more to her story, her family, her son, and so the source is all sort of like, real. But obviously, when an artist writes, there's, your own imagination also sort of takes over, and so there are certain things which are fictionalized, of course. And certain things are also quite common, like, it's sourced from various different stories of, the cooks and the Malkin and, that sort of a thing. But when I was writing it, I tried not to let my own subjective moralities control the story, because there are certain things which the characters are doing, and they're not right or wrong, they're all flawed, and they're just there for their own circumstances. And I tried to keep it just like that, just tell a story.
So this is the third time that I'm watching the film, I think the first time is, the first couple of times is always very important, because the first time, honestly, you're watching it very critically, you're more focused on your own self, you are going through every shot, remembering what you did, what is put out there, whether you have got the emotionality, the graph correct, you are, and I'm someone who's quite critical of my own performance, but I have learned to be very gentle on myself. So I remember watching it the first time, I was just very, I think one emotion that I was truly filled with was pride. I was very proud of the film we had made, and very objectively, I was very proud of the work that I think I had managed to do. And this was a very important film for me from an actor's perspective, because, not very few people are able to see me being able to do much more than what meets their eye, right? And back in India, I tend to do a lot of variety and bring a lot of, I think for me as an artist, versatility is something that I really feel is the most important quality of an artist, and I think that's what I try and do. So when Tanishta came to me with this film, and we just randomly met, she had not even started writing it, she just had like a basic idea. And I think just the fact that she could imagine me like this, I was like, I'm on, let's just do it, let's just do it. And I think when I first watched the film, and the second time, in Busan at the premiere, I was just like, this is one of those rare things that I'm very proud of. And it was a very difficult film to make, like most films, most independent films. But I think when you see something come together so well and so beautifully, you're just like, it just empowers you further to keep going on this path. So yeah, I'm very proud of this film.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was wonderfully directed and everything was fantastic. And I thought we could have gone for another hour if you extend the length of the movie. So
Part two. You can wait
part
for part
two,
two.
that's right there. So there's a message there which you're trying to portray. How will that resurface in the society when you think this is something is happening and the message is there for people to understand that freedom is very important? Is there some kind of message you're trying to put through this film?
I don't know. I mean, I always believe in what Alfred Hitchcock said, that if you want messages, go to the post office. So I didn't want to make it messagey or preachy or didactical at all. I just wanted to tell a story. But I think stories, when you get to the crux of it and when you derive it from real life, they have many themes. And so the film has all those themes, whether it is the mother-son relationship, and I wanted to sort of have the next generation of the man to be like standing for the mother and to stand by her and defy the patriarchal norms, and or whether it is the woman's choice that I mean, everyone is saying things about her hijab, but her wearing a hijab or a sari or a bikini doesn't make her modern or not modern. It is the choice that she makes about her own freedom, and her choices makes her independent. And that's what I wanted to show, and I believe, because I have in my life seen many women who are very westernized outwardly, but actually when it comes to choice, they don't have the choice. And I know women who are always in a salwar kameez or a sari or hijab, and they're still independent in the choices that they're making. So for me, it's like how you dress up has nothing to do with what choices you make. It's sometimes a little cultural as well. Language, food, dressing, all these things are what you've grown up in. But it's like in adult life, sometimes that's a matter of taste and culture. Sometimes you are not able to break free from that. It doesn't mean that we judge that. So I mean, these are certain themes that I wanted to sort of touch upon. But I mean, I hope I haven't made something which is didactical. But and it's also layered, because there are all different kinds of points of view. Some person would say that, oh, but you wouldn't get vitamin D. Other person would say, no, but this is my cultural identity. Like, what is right, what is wrong is very personal. And there's no rights or wrongs.
I love the film. First of all, congratulations to both of you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
My question is that I love that having such a topic with such sensitivity, it was able to give out so much humor. So what were the challenges, like when we watch a comedy movie, to get out the humor is very easy. But in such a subject, bringing humor, and that too in such a light and subtle way, what were the challenges that you faced, and how did you draw the thin line that we cannot go beyond this line, but at the same time we need to convey the message? So yeah.
For me, I am that kind of a person. I like to always see the positive side in life, and I like humor myself. I humor myself in the gravest of situations. So in my storytelling, that comes to me naturally. And I had a set of very interesting actors. I did cast against type. Not only Kirti, also like Sharib, sort of, he's more known for roles, who plays Kirti's husband, very cute and nice. He's always the nice person, and he's not. And I knew that Kirti had this range, and I was absolutely sure about it. And often she jokes that, oh, thank you very much, Stan, that you thought about me before even you started writing. Right?
Yeah, I don't know if, whether I should take it as a compliment or, should I be, but yeah.
But I knew her, Kirti and I, we shot a film together as co-actors many years back. and we both played villagers in Bhuj in that film. So I knew her from then, and I knew the range that she sort of had. So I knew that she could play a 4 more shots please, and she could also do an Amreen. I had that confidence because sometimes, you know, when you cast against type, it is actually very interesting. But if you don't have a strong actor, it'll be a disaster. So I knew that no, I have somebody who will actually deliver when you cast against type. So we did workshops also, and some of the stuff I used to put them in improvisations where the humor would come out.
But I think for that, like that element of humor, right? I think that's a common thing that we both connected on. So even every time we go through the script when we did and we were shooting, and now that we watch the film together, there are so many things that we look back on because we know what we were trying to do there, you know, like, so I think I'm so glad that, you know, I'm known as this very intense actor and all of that. I don't know why still, I don't know when will that image leave me. But
no, intense as well. This is
also very intense. Yes.
The humor is also intense actually.
Yeah, but I think, but the fact that a story like this, she took the choice of, you know, serving it with a bit of, not a bit, quite a bit of very subtle humor. It's very my kind of humor. So yeah.
Also in life, you know, I don't think we're always only sad and only or only happy. It's always, you know, up and down. And so when you are showing a slice of life, all those moods are there. I find it sometimes a little cliched when you say, oh, it's a rom-com. In a rom-com, some tragedy might happen, or, you know, you're making a thriller, but then a romance might happen. Like, that's how life is. You can't predict what is next. And humor is a part of our lives.
And also humor is I'm ending with this, don't worry, we can move on to the next question. I feel that humor is so powerful. You can you can give you know, you can cut someone with a knife with a bit of humor and they will be able to take it. So humor in life, in cinema, is the best way to deliver some of the most powerful messages, you know, so yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, that's what they say, you know, comedy is tragedy with timing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's exactly that. And no, and kudos to you, Tanisha. What an imaginative choice, because the first time I saw this key art, and because Kirti is so, like she said, so known for fiercely independent, the modern thinking woman, and then I kept on thinking, wow, how are they going to pull this off? So very, very brave and imaginative choice, and clearly a winner at that. And we'll go to, yes, Virat.
Hey Tanisha, hey Kirti, very interesting film. You sort of touched upon this, what you're talking about it. I really enjoyed Sharif playing in a classic Dick. Like, it was so much fun seeing him play a proper...
We should record this and make him hear.
No, it was so much fun because he's been playing this pigeonhole into his comic roles for such a long time. It was fun for me to see him choose some scenery, you know, it was old school, malicious
patriarchal man.
Yeah. But there's a fragility to it as well.
Yeah.
So he was able to bring that out. So I'm wondering, how did you pitch it to him? You know, it's like, because he's been...
they're all friends. I didn't pitch anything to anybody. Okay. They all came, and again, like Kirti, I called Sharif and I said that I'm doing this film, and he said, you tell me what are the dates. That was the only talk we had, and then he came for the rehearsals. And yes, I mean, the thing is, again, I chose Sharif for that role because I didn't want to cast someone who has an image of very strong, you know, I wanted somebody who's very likable.